Hi, my name is Kate and I love depotting. Just kidding. No, so I wasn't a huge fan of depotting before, and I spent a couple hours the other night depotting all of my urban palettes. Look at that! And you know what was the best surprise ever? They were already magnetic. Right? It's perfect. So let me just toss these real quick in the garbage. Okay, so those were like hands down. I also depotted the Stila ones. Let me grab those. So I also depotted my Stila, those like little like box things, and they were in the cardboard boxes. I didn't save the box, of course, but here's what they look like all out of their boxes. There's only like 3 I think I couldn't fit in here. And let me tell you, I texted my friend Sam and these are also magnetic. It was like a pleasant surprise. So these were all magnetic on the back. Look at how much product is in them. Like, look at this pan. Like, this is like the tiniest thing ever. Like, they're super, super tiny. Like, there's like barely anything in it. So, but I barely used them. So I wanted, like, I was cleaning up my makeup stays and I was like, I need to get rid of some of these palettes. So I know a lot of you are on the same bandwagon as I am. And this is what I did. So for this method, I actually used rubbing alcohol, but the palettes themselves were foam and paper. So I just ripped off all the paper. I apologize for not keeping it, but it was like a hot mess. I did take some pictures, and I have them on Instagram. I'll leave the link below. But anywho, these were not so bad. The glue on here though was like crazy. There was more glue on those than the urban ones, and it was like weird glue. It was like glue that was like burnt on, or maybe that's just like they use like a hot glue thing and they put them in. I think that's what most people do. Like they use like an industrial glue, but whatever. So I do want to talk about these 2 palettes that I got. They're new. I was looking for an alternative to the Z palettes. I just had heard on, I was watching Stephanie Nicole one day and she had said that like Z palette was rude to their customers. I don't really get on that like whatever bandwagon. I don't know. I don't let it bother me. Because people are human and they say things when they're angry that they don't mean. Doesn't mean that you can take your words back, but it is what it is, right? So I got this first one and then I picked up another one at the same time, mind you. So I got this Adept Cosmetics. They're an indie brand. So I got the Love for All palette. I love this like front. I kept the box, which is like so cheesy, but I really liked the box. I'm going to keep it together. I know it's exactly the same, but whatever. And this has a beautiful mirror, and I depotted all of my urban shadows. Look at them, how pretty they are. I think I couldn't fit one, which is fine because it was a black, and I don't know. I don't really care. It was blackout. And no, you know what? It might have been like a couple. Oh, no, here. Okay. Oh, I'm lying to you. It wasn't even like that many. It was a lot. So it was all the blacks and blues that I couldn't fit in. And this is a pretty decent sized palette. It's huge. So let me show you. In reference to the Z palette, it's like gigantic. And I also have the bigger Z palette. This is I think this is the extra large palette. And it's even bigger than the extra large palette by like a whole row. Yeah, almost a whole row. Almost. Okay, so these were also very easy. They were easy to a point, but not easy. So with the Stila ones, I used rubbing alcohol to kind of like loosen up the glue. It was a little bit more tedious because you had to like rip the palette apart and all that, but heat wouldn't have worked because of the plastic. Now, this started with, don't necessarily go together because I don't really know. I didn't keep the thing. So basically what I got, when I got the Adept palette, only one of them, oh, I forgot to show you the other one. I'll show you that at the end. Okay, so it came with this little spatula, and I think it was like $19. I'll leave the link to the Amazon. They also have a regular website, so I might like, it came with a spatula, which is like perfect because I used to use This is a great tool as well. I used both of these. So this is a, I don't know, this is like one of those like punch tools for scrapbooking. You like punch the hole in and then you split the little butterfly thing. Anywho, so they got, they gave you the spatula and they gave you some magnets. The other palette, which was like giant, they didn't. The palette looked like this, right? So I took this little spatula and went in and it just popped right out. So that was perfect. One of them, you could like pop it out from here. Yeah, this one. Only one of the palettes had the little lip where you could pop it up from the inside. Otherwise, you just got to get it down in here and lift it up, okay? And then this part comes out. Took my trusty Hot Tools flat iron that I have subjected to many depottings at this point. And you can see I ended up
only used it in the bathroom.
Yeah, so I ended up putting this, I had started on 370 and then I had to bump it up to 410 for this particular packaging. Sorry. All right, so I just take the Hot Tools thing, and this was a little bit more difficult. So maybe if you had one of those like flat disc, like a, what is it called? I know Z Palette had it, and I think that's what started the whole controversy. I'm not really sure, but like a hot plate, but I'd be careful. You know what I mean? I mean, this was a little safer, and I didn't burn myself at all, because I'll tell you what I did. So you either take a placemat, or we have craft like cutting mats, so that's what I used like to lay down on my counter. So I just had it like this on the counter, and then I just kind of placed it over top. I don't know if you can see that well. I'm such a jerk. Okay, so you have to place it like differently. Yeah. Because of the little like lips. Now, if I had not been in the kitchen, I would have snapped those off first. Like if you just snap these off with like a pair of pliers, it would be easier to work with. I only had one fatality, like not even a fatality, but I had two. One, the shadow was just so soft it like fell apart. Let's see if I can, yeah. And then I, by accident, stuck this tool through it. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Must be in the kitchen. Has to be in the drawer. I don't know. So just put it on here. You do have to leave it on for a long, like not a long time, but like, I think I left it on for like 2 minutes or so. You'll know because either you can pop this right through. So that's what I did. Like it comes, see, like it comes right through right here. And so it'll pop right out, or I was able to like push it with this end. That's why this tool really is a great like multi-purpose tool, like if you craft or whatever. So I just popped it up and poked it through. So you'll see on the back of this, like some were hotter than others. Like I had to go back and leave it on because you want the glue to melt. I mean, this is not, I mean, it's totally rocket science, but not rocket science, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so what I was saying is they just pop right out. This is the most important part. Important. Use your mat, your placemat. Go like this. Pop it out. The other ones will stay in. Don't worry about it. Pop it out. Leave it alone. Oh my God, they were so hot. So like it would come out, so like you either popped it out or like it would lift enough. So like this pan, it lifted enough that I was able to get the tool like right in here. Just enough that it lifted right out. And then make sure you don't touch it because these are hot. They're hot. Okay, they're really, really hot. Yeah, so I struggled getting like the last row out that's like close to this edge, but that's only because I had these like things on, so just be mindful of that. It does cool down, but honestly, it was like the easiest one that I've done in a while. The MAC ones are super easy, like anything in those little like containers are super easy. Like I said, you just like put them on. I did this in another video. I don't have any more of like this like urban to depot, but I am two cargo these two cargo palettes. So let me know if you're interested, and I might be able to film it. Yeah, so I might be able to film that. If you're interested, let me know. I mean, it's really like the same as other depotting videos. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this like gigantic palette I got from Adept Cosmetics, and this is beautiful. I have this in obviously they're like super small. So if you didn't want to like spend the money for these, my MAC shadows, I find that I like to keep them in this container only because of how they sit in and their magnet system. It just works. I don't know why, it just does, and I don't want them to like break and stuff, but this has that like this flip thing, which if you don't really have nails can be annoying, but yeah. So this one doesn't lock down in, so that's important to note because this one, this Adept one, locks in, so it's pretty heavy. It's heavy to begin with. I would not recommend traveling with this at all. Like maybe it would be great for a makeup artist though, but look at this. So this is like a mixture of my Makeup Geek shadows. It's mostly Makeup Geek, some depotted shadows. Like I have some MAC ones in here. This one I think is an old MAC one. Oh yeah, I depotted these. These were in those quads. They were real difficult to depot. What? All right, so anyway, so yeah, there's all of my shadows. You can get single shadows. There's lots of different brands. So my guess is you could put like a ton in here. I mean, 50. So each thing hits 50, which is perfect. I could have done a full row, but then there was like a space that I couldn't use, and I wanted to fit everything. So I got extra 2 in here. So that's 100 shadows in there. Wow, that's awesome. I'm going to show you another thing, and I'm sorry this is so long. I'll try and edit down, but I did want to make note, like I did put some of the magnets on the back. The Makeup Geek ones, and this locks in. So like this like sets in, so it's like it stays on one side. So I try and keep it level. I have a drawer, I put them in. I had to go in with some of these glue dots, because I wanted to make sure that it stayed. So like when I opened it today to do the video, they had like fallen out a little bit. So like one had detached from the actual magnet part. So I stuck the glue dot on and I put it back, and then I stuck a glue dot on the bottom and put it back because I don't want my shadows to break. I don't plan on moving them from that case, so I'm not really worried about it. If I do travel, I will take something else with me. I really haven't decided. We're traveling soon here, and I don't know what I'm going to bring for makeup, but yeah. Yeah, so that's what I use. I love this method. It's been working for me, so I've depotted a lot. I am trying to kind of condense my collection into like more usable things because I have lots of palettes that I don't use. So yeah, I know this was helpful for me. If it was helpful for you, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!